tshuva, you're not going to stay on the daf. So
makes sense. Have a good night.
Okay. Okay, we still don't have our minion on, but okay.
You snooze, you lose.
Snooze, you lose. Listen, we did Musar, so we gained from the snoozers. Taner Rabbanon. Third line down. Yeah. So again, we're talking about the sugya of this, this guy making all sorts of conditions in order to give his wife a get. So Taner Rabbanon, Hareza Gita Chamanashe Tishamshi as Abba Shtei Shonim, right? Similar to the Mishnah, where he said to his wife, it's going to be your get on condition that you work for my father for 2 years. Or that you nurse my son for 2 years. So again, here he specified the amount of time. Even if the Tanai is not Mekuyim, a get, it's a get. Because he didn't tell her, Im tishamshi, im loy tishamshi, im taniki, im loy taniki, divrei Rameir. So as we know, this is partially like going to Rameir, because according to Rameir, you can make a condition, unless you have a reverse condition in there, it doesn't work, right? Tonight kafel. So in this case, all he did was say to his wife, I'm divorcing you if you nurse the baby, or if you take care of my father. He didn't say, and if you don't nurse my baby, then you're not going to get a get. So according to Rameir, that Tanai is meaningless, and he gave his wife a get, right? That's Pasha. The Tanai, if she's Makayim the Tanai, then I raise a get. Vim lav ain't a get. It's not a get. Rav Shimon Gamliel Omer, ein lecha Tanai b'ksuvim she'ein a kafel. So Rav Shimon Gamliel says something a little cryptic here. He says, again, we had Rameir who says you need a Tanai kafel, otherwise the Tanai is nothing. You have the Chachamim who say, nope, the Tanai is perfectly fine. Then we have Shimon Gamliel who says there's no Tanai in the Torah. It's interesting that it's called Biksuvim, right? It's referring to the entire Torah. She'ena kafel, right? Because Rashi brings three places in the Torah where there's Tanai, where there's Tanaim, where conditions are made, and all three of them are Tanai kafel. The first one's by Avram Avinu with Eliezer, going to find the shidduch for Yitzchak. And then the other one is with the one we've been talking about, Gad and Ruvain. And the third one is in Yeshaya, which is at Shabbos Chazayin, actually, right? Which was 2 weeks ago. So that's also was a Tanai there, where he says, where Yeshaya says, if you're going to listen, then you're going to eat. And if you're not going to listen, you're not going to eat. So there's three separate places in the Torah, which interestingly the Gemara refers to as Ksuvim, right? That it's all Tanai kafel. So what does Rav Shimon Gamliel mean by this? Rav Shimon Gamliel says that every time that makes a Tanai in the Torah, it's Tanai kafel. So Igada Amri the Rameir ka Amrale, Igada Amri the Rabbanon ka Amrale. Some say he was actually disagreeing with Rameir, and some say he was disagreeing with the Rabbanon. Igada Amri the Rameir ka Amrale. There are those that say he was going to Rameir v'achi ka Amrale. And this is what he said: Ein lecha Tanai b'ksuvim she'ena kafel. There's no Tanai in the Ksuvim that's not kafel. So then what is it? Essentially, it's what we call Shnei Ksuvim. You have two psukim that are coming to say the same thing. And anytime you have two psukim that are teaching you the same thing, you can't learn anything out from them. Meaning, if the Torah wanted to use it as an example for every other place in the Torah, so all it had to do was say it once. Right? All I had to do was say it once, and I would learn out from there. But the Torah chooses to say it twice. That means that the Torah is saying it in those particular places for a particular reason. And you can't learn out from there than any place else. Right? So that's what he was telling Rameir. He's saying, Rameir, you're saying that every Tanai has to be a Tanai kafel. And Rav Shimon Gamliel is telling him, no, it doesn't, because it's Shnei Ksuvim Abayim Ke'echad. Only the places in the Torah where it says that Tanai does it have to be. That's one way. What he's saying to Rabbanan, and this is what he's telling Rabbanan. There's no such thing as a Tanai, as a condition in the Torah that's not kafel. And we're going to learn out from it. Right? So therefore, he's saying, basically what he's saying is we need each one. The three places it says a Tanai in the Torah, there's a reason for it, and therefore we need each one, and therefore we could learn out from it. Fine. Okay, so that's the machlokes Ramei and the Rabbanon. Fine. We're minol ask you stira hareza gitech amanas shamshi is abish shonim. Right? He says similar case. He says to her, "This is your get on condition that you work for my father 2 years. Amanas shetaniki has benishte shonim. Mesa ava mesa ben. Let's say the father dies or the child dies. Now, so obviously she can't fulfill the Tanai for the 2 years. Ain't a get. It's not a get. Now again, there's no Tanai kofel here, right? So it should be a good get, according to Rameir. Even though he wasn't Mekayim, she was not Mekayim Tanai because they died. Hareza get. That's right, because she could say to the husband, "Tenli avicha v'shamshenu, give me your father and I'll work for him." Right? Tenli bincha v'anikenu, give me your son and I'll nurse him. Right? It's not. She didn't do anything. She kept the Tanai. So kasha the Rameir, kasha the Rabbanon. It's a stira from Rameir to Rameir, and it's a stira from the Rabbanon to Rabbanon, right? Because here Rameir, it wasn't a Tanai kofel, so therefore the get should be a good get. And according to Chachamim, they say that she met the Tanai. What do you mean? We said before that she didn't meet the Tanai. So the Rameir like kasha. The Rameir is not a kasha hasam, but the like kafla the Tanai. There, it's talking about where he they didn't double up the Tanai. Right? Oh, it's a simple teretz. There's no stira. One is where he did a Tanai kafel, and one is where they didn't do a Tanai kafel. That's for peretz. It's almost ifcha. Right? For Rabbanan, the Rabbanan like kasha. The Rabbanan is not a kasha. Man chacham da'achar Reb Shimon Gamliel. It's Reb Shimon Gamliel. The Omar kol akava. Yeah, the Omar kol akava. Sorry. Yeah. So my chom the offer of Shimon Gamliel. The Omar kol akava she'ena himena hareza get. He says any akava that's not from her, it's considered a good get. So the teretz according to the chom is not a stira because it's going according to Rav Shimon Gamliel, who we said in our mission. Rav Shimon Gamliel said if she's not the one that caused the Tanai not to be fulfilled, so then it's not a problem. Meaning she said, if she didn't nurse the baby or she didn't help the father, so it's her fault. But here they died, so it's not her fault. If it's not her fault, then she could get the get will be a good get. Fine. Toner Rabbanon. The Gemara brings another case. Amar lo b'fnei shnayim. He said to her in front of two people, "Lareze gitech amanas shetishamshi es ba'aba beishonim." Right, same thing. Right, she said, "You got to work for my father." He says, "You got to work for my father 2 years in order for the get to be a good get." V'chazar v'amar lo b'fnei shnayim, and then he goes and he says in front of two edim, "Lareze gitech amanas shetitni li masayim zuz," on the condition that you give me 200 zuz. Right, so now he changed the Tanai. His initial Tanai was that she has to take care of his father. And the second Tanai was she has to give 200. So loy bittel, divrei achar and the Sarishan.
We're talking about the same wife here, right? It's not like
Same wife.
This wife and that wife. What?
This guy's really making this wife meshuggah. That's what he's doing. Right? So again, he first tells her, you got to take care of my father for 2 years. Then he changes in front of different Adim, and he says, you have to give me 200. Right? So, loy bittel divrei achar sarishon, the words, the second ones are not mavatel. The first words, meaning they complement each other. So therefore, she could do either one. If she wants, she could give it to him. And if she wants to give him the money, if she wants, she could work with the father. But if he said to her in front of two, on the condition you give me 200 zuz, and she goes and she says to both of them, then he says, give me 300 zuz, Then again, he said 200. Then he said 300. Bittul divrei acharon es harishon. The second ones are mevatel the first ones. Right. So what's a pshat? Yeah. So in the first case, we're assuming that he was just trying to make his wife meshuga. So it's either with making her work for him, for the father, or money. Right. The second case, it's why should he take 300 instead of 200? Doesn't make sense. Right. So what he did is he changed his mind. Meaning in the first case, he said, "Oh, I'll have her work for my father." Then he changed his mind and said, "You know what? Maybe he didn't change his mind, but he said, yeah, I'll take 200 from her also. That's also good." But in the second case, when he says 200, and then he's not going to replace 200 with 300. That doesn't make sense. The only one thing he planned on doing was he decided he's going to add 100 on to the fee for him to give the get. Yeah, and you can't have one aid from the first aid, because again, this talking about what he did it in front of Aidim, right? So you can't have one aid from the first and one aid from the second. They don't combine with each other. Yeah. So the Gemara says, "Hey." So now, when it says the Aidim can't combine with each other, which case is it going on? Aseifa. If it's going on the Seifa, Hare Batal. You already said that the second condition knocks out the first condition. So if the second condition knocks out the first condition, so of course they can't combine. Ela Reisha. It's going on the ratio. Right? That if one guy heard him say the Tanai that he wants the father to be taken care of, and another guy makes the Tanai and hears that the guy that'll take money, so they don't combine. So it's just pshita, it's pashit. How can they combine? Each one saw their own thing. The first guy saw the Tanai. The first guy saw a Tanai or heard a Tanai about her working for the father, and the second guy heard the Tanai that it has to do with money. So how do they combine? So Gemara answers Mao the same kiyuma called the kiyuma Tanai mitzdarfin. All they're trying to do is to be Makayim a Tanai, right? So all they're trying to do is be Makayim the Tanai. So why can't they combine? Kamash Malon that they don't combine. Fine. Okay, so that's sugya about the different Tanaim about the father and about her taking care of the father and of the nursing. Fine. Next Mishnah. So now it's hard to understand this. The Mishnah is not hard, but it's hard to fit it into the words. It says Hareze Gitech.
Yaakov, I mean, the Gemara doesn't say anything.
Start? I didn't see him, no. What do you say? Sorry?
The Gemara doesn't say that the guy did anything bad, making these conditions and extorting money from her.
It doesn't say anything negative.
No.
You're right. It doesn't. Yeah.
Whatever she gives him, he could apply to the ksuba, and that's it. He doesn't have to take it from his pocket. He takes it from her pocket.
Right. Yeah. That's yeah. It doesn't. I mean, the whole concept of the Gitten is already difficult, right? Forcing her. So yeah. Fine. So now this next case is talking about similar to two mishnahs or three mishnahs ago. It says Hareza Gitech. He says this is your get. If I don't come from now for 30 days. And he was going from Yehuda to Galil. So now it sounds like it's unclear exactly what the Tanai was, but it seems we'll see from the Gemara that the Tanai seems to be that he was telling her that if I go from now in 30 days, if I come back from Yehuda to Galil, then it's not going to be a get. I mean, it's not just that he's saying that if I don't show up for 30 days. If I don't show up for 30 days and I also come back from going from Yehuda to Galil, let's see the rest of the mission. Maybe it'll get clear. So Antifras, if he got to Antifras and Chazer and then he went back, then meaning so that is Antifras, at least the Gemara is thinking now, is in Golus. It's in Golus, Antifras. So he went to Antifras and came back. So now Batal Tanai, his Tanai is Batal. Right? Because meaning because basically what his Tanai was, he says, if I don't come back for 30 days, right? But also it's gonna be that I didn't go to Golus. So what happened was that he did go to Golus, right?
Golul.
Yeah, I'm saying Golus. Yeah, Golus. I'm sorry, I keep saying Golus. Yes, thank you. To the Galil, it's closer to Golus, but it's not Golus, right? So since he went there and he came back, so the whole Tanai is batal. Even if he doesn't show back, he leaves again. He doesn't show back. He doesn't show back up for 30 days. It's still a problem. Meaning it's not a problem. Meaning if the get is not a get. Then he says two similar cases. He says, this is your get if I don't come from now for 30 days. But and this was the opposite. He was going from the Galil to Yehuda. And he got to Kfar Usnoi, and then he came back. So Kfar Usnoi is in Yehuda. Yeah, so now he knocked it out. So Batal Tanai is Batal. And Areza Gitach, that's it. The bottle, that tonight is bottle, and the get is no longer a get. Hareza Gitach basi mikanat shloishim yoim. He says, this is your get if I don't come from now for 30 days. And he was going to overseas. This one is Galus. And he got to Akko, and he came back. We remember from the end of, no, I'm sorry, it was the beginning of Gittin, with all the cities, which one's part, which one's not part. Well, here the Gemara is assuming that Akko is not part of Eretz Yisrael. So if he went to Akko, then Batal Tanai is Batal, and the whole get is shot, even if he doesn't show up for 30 days. Fine. Last case. He says, this is your get if I don't see you for 30 days. We'll see exactly what this means. So he was going and coming, meaning he kept coming around. But since he never had yichud with her, get, it's considered a get. Right, big chiddush on the mission. The guy basically says, if I don't come home to you, if I don't see you, that's a literal touch. If I don't see your face, then it's not going to be a get. So even though he did see her face, if they did not have yichud together, then that means he did not come home for 30 days, and therefore the get is a good get. So Moreh says, so you're basically saying that Antifras was in the Galil, and that's why when he went there and he came back, the get was bottled. Or a minute, I'll ask you, Stira, Antifras be Yehuda, Antifras was in Yehuda, Ukfar Usnai be Galil, and Kfar Usnai was in Galil. Beintayim, and in between Kfar Usnai and Antifras, Matil and I said l'chumra. We're going to give it a chumra, right? Which is Megureshes, Antom Beis. Now, Veina Megureshes, right? So you see that there's a stira as to the geography of exactly what's going on here. So
one second. When he makes it tonight, if I don't come back within 30 days, so we have to know where he thinks he's traveling to?
It seems like
he can't just make a blanket statement if I don't come back in the next 30 days. He has to give his itinerary.
He could, but he could, but here it seems like he added a twist. That's what I'm saying. It's unclear in the Mishnah, but it's clear from the way the Gemara is understanding it that he added a twist in here. It wasn't just that he's not coming back for 30 days. It's that he's also not going to hit Galil, and come back, or Yehuda come back, or Chutz La'aretz and come back. Seems like that's part of the Tanai. Right? Yeah. So anyway, so the Gemara says, Amar Abaya. So what happened here is Trey Tanai Kamri. He made two Tanaim. Here it doesn't mean Machlokes Tanaim. It means the guy actually made two Tanaim, which is sort of the way we just explained the Havamina David. But But it's really, that's the maskana. So I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how to understand the Havavina well. But Trey Tanoi, Kamarla, he said two Tanoim. Matina legalil. If I get to Galil, la'alter, how the Havi get. If I get to Galil, then it's going to become a get right away, even if I'm not away for 30 days. And if I stay on the road for 30 days and I don't come, then lihavi get, it's a get, even if he doesn't get to the Galil. Right? So basically, he made two Tanaim, that the get works if he gets to the Galil, or even if he doesn't get to the Galil, but he doesn't come home for 30 days. Right? So those are the two Tanaim. Right? And then the next case you have, so now, well, let's see. So then Mamela Higil Antifras B'Chazar. So if he got to Antifras and he came back, the Loila Galil Mata, he never made it to Galil, because Antifras is not part of Galil. And he didn't stay out for 30 days. So Batal Tanai, so then his Tanai is Batal. But if he went past Antifras, or he stayed away for 30 days, then the get will be a perfectly good get. Fine. And then the Gemara says the same shaka v'tayariz, well, at least the last part. It says, Arida gidechem loibasim mikan ba'at shloshim yom. But this was from Akko, this is from Eretz Yisrael to Chutz La'aretz, right? So he says, L'meimra to Akko Medina Sayam Kaima. Are you saying that Akko is considered part of Galus? V'omer Rav Safra ki have a mifteri Rabbanim me'adadi, when the Rabbanim would leave from each other, but Akko have a mifteri. They used to, meaning that the Chachamim, I guess, would meet their guests, would walk their guests out. So Ba'akko have a mifteri. They would leave from Akko. They would leave each other in Akko. Why? Because it's also to go from Eretz Yisrael to Chutz La'aretz, right? So they couldn't walk them past Akko. Okay, so how come they were leaving? Right? Right. So it must be that they left. Well, they must have left either for Shidduchim or for Parnasa. What was the other one? Shidduchim, Parnasa, Tyra. Right? And I guess it didn't fit into the other people's, to the ones that were accompanying them. Fine. So Amrabaya. So again, so we see a stira. Is Akko part of Eretz Yisrael or not? From the Mishnah, it sounds like it's not part of Eretz Yisrael. From the Gemara, it sounds like it is. Samarabaya Trey Tanoi Kamrila. He said two Tanoim. If you get to Medina Sayam, la'alter labigita, let it be a get right away. What?
I mean, it's machlokes about Akko. There's other Gemaras that say it's not part of Eretz Yisrael.
Well, that's always right. So when it says Akko mi b'chutz and Akko, right? We had that in the beginning of Gitten. Wasn't it the beginning of Gitten? I thought. Yeah,
I
so
just started learning this morning about mitzvah of Steinbach about mitzvah Yeshiva Aretz, and he brings this Gemara.
Oh, there you go. Very good.
So this would have been good. So Rav Yoshe Ben, Lubavitch Rebbe should have taken a boat to Akko. They could have done that.
I guess. I mean, Lamaisa, when you learn the sugya, watch out, because it's a little shver that we don't live in Eretz Yisrael. Yeah. So he says, if I wait on the town and wait it out and I don't come back for 30 days, then it's going to be a get. So if he got to Akko and he came back, that he didn't get to Medina Sayam, and he didn't stay away for 30 days, so Batal Tanai says Tanai is considered Batal, because he didn't meet either one of them. Right? So basically what we're saying is that what we thought in the Mishnah that these towns meant that they were outside of Eretz Yisrael, we're saying no, it has nothing to do with that. We're saying that they're inside Eretz Yisrael. Well, when the first case it was inside Galil, and in the last case, Akko was inside Eretz Yisrael. Fine. Harei calls man she'ever. So he says, this is a get as long as I don't come, if I don't come to be in front of you 30 days. So Gemara says, but the Mishnah says he came back and forth and they saw each other. So how come it's a get? Amar Avuna, my panecha tashmish. No, because panecha means actual relations. He was coming to have, what he meant was that if he doesn't have relations with her for 30 days, so she could be divorced. Okay, so Vamai Karilo Panecha. So why is it called Panecha? Lishna Malya Nakat, because it wanted to take a better, how do you call it? So it's a little shy exactly what this means.
Euphemism.
But see, what does a Lishna Ma'alya normally mean?
A nice way to speak, nice way to.
Yeah, but that's not what look at Rashi. What does Rashi mean, Lishna Ma'alya? Rashi says Panim Shalmata. What it means is doesn't mean to see her face. It means to see her lower face. Right? I mean, that's a Lishna Ma'alya.
For Rashi, it's a listen Aliyah.
Maybe I'm saying Lishna Ma'alya is normally you want to say, okay, see you say, why is Rashi saying that? Why it should, when we just say that he wants to see you, right? Which means he's saying if I don't come and don't have relations with you. I don't know why it has to be panel shalmat, panim shalmata, right? Meaning it means intercourse or whatever relations, but we're using it as a nicer lashon. Yeah, okay. Fine. But if Yochanan Amar, so that's the first teretz. What?
No, it's obviously a strange lotion to use.
Yeah. I'm saying it to call it a lishna ma'alya. Right? I mean, Rabbi Akiva Eiger brings a lot of Gemaras of lishna ma'alya. Right? But I'm saying it's normally lishna ma'alya, so we say don't use a bad lashon. So here, I don't know what I'm just not sure what Rashi's getting at with the panim shalmata. Fine.
He's using.
What
To
are you
me,
saying?
maybe to me, it's using a more negative lotion. It's not. And just say tashmish. Saying robe, panel, whatever. That's a worse lotion to me, anyway.
What panel shalmata?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, it is. That's what I'm saying. But it's a kash on the Rashi. It's not a kash on the Gemara.
Okay.
Right, Rashi's saying that panecha means panim shalmat. Okay, but Rabbi Yochanan Amar La'olam panecha mamish. No, it doesn't mean that. It means panecha mamish. Mikatani hareza megureshes doesn't say that she's divorced. Hareza get. What he's saying is that it's a get. Hareza get katani says that this is a get. The loyhavi get yashon. It's not a get yashon. L'chimalu tlasin yaimi havi gita. What it's saying is that. So we mentioned it before, we're going to mention it again, but there's something called a get yasham, right? Which is an old get, which is that if they write the get and then the couple sleeps with each other before the get is given, then the get is puzzle. So maybe here he writes the get, so maybe we have to be chayshir if he comes home, that maybe they were together, and therefore the get is a puzzle again. So the Gemara is saying that we don't have to worry about that. Right? If he doesn't see her face to face, meaning if they weren't alone, then we don't have to worry about it as being a get yashon. But not that the actual get is given. Right? Fine. So the Brayso Tanika would say to Rav Yochanan, he says this is your get. Kozman she'ever v'neged panecha shloshim yoim. As long as I didn't pass from your face 30 days, he was going and coming, going and coming. And since he did not have yichud with her, is a get. This is a get. Will it get yashon? Ain't chayshish and and we're not chayshish for get yashon. So you see very clear that the whole issue is get yashon issue. So I asked v'leichu shema pious. Okay, but maybe he appeased her, meaning maybe when he came back, right? He came and he convinced her to take him back, or that he should stay married to her.
This is it after
Right?
he was harassing her or before?
Like pious as he was pious. But
Huh?
maybe he became pious and they didn't want to give her a get anymore. Pious is I think going on him, no?
Well, no, it's going on, but well, it's both, really. Maybe they made up, right? Yeah, but this guy's not making so many big tonight here, David. Right? All he's saying is if I don't show up, if I don't come to you for 30 days.
You're here.
Right. So right, so maybe they just made up with each other. So Amar Rav Bar Rav Huna, Hachi Amar Abba Mari Mishmei de Rav, Ba'aymer Nemenes Alai Loimer Shaloi Basi. Song about where the guy says, my wife trusts me to say that I didn't come, that I didn't come back and was with her. Right? Meaning it's also difficult to understand exactly what this is. He made a second tonight. He said, one, if I don't come back within 30 days and be alone with my wife, the get's a good get. And if I come back and I say that I was Matthias, my wife, and we're staying married, it doesn't work. She's trusted to deny that. She's trusted to deny. So Mamela, if he made both of those tonight, him coming and saying that that it's not true, we're not choisha for that. Fine. And some say this whole shaklataya went on our Mishnah. If he says the get is a get from now, if I don't come from now until Yud Beis Chaydish, Umeis B'Sech Yud Beis Chaydish, Arei is a get. I mean, he dies in those 12 months, so it's a get. Why aren't we choished that maybe he was Mephias her in the interim? So she trusts me, meaning she is really, it means like she is trusted to him, meaning he's saying that if he comes back and says, no, we made up, and she denies it, she's believed. So we're not chosh for that. Fine. So the one that learns this shak v'tayr on the Mishnah, kol shekena brisa, and for sure on the brisa, right? Because in the brisa, he's coming back and forth. Manda Masala Brisa, but the one that learns it in the Brisa, right? Where people know that she's coming and going. But on the Mishnah, Halayasi never came. Meaning in the Brisa, he's coming back and forth. In the Mishnah, he's not necessarily coming back and forth. So if you're gonna believe him in the Brisa, you're certainly gonna believe him in the Mishnah. Right? Fine. Okay. Last Mishnah on all this, I think, right? Yeah, it's the last Mishnah on all this. So Zok the Mishnah. Hareza Gitech, he says to his wife, this is your get. If I don't come from now for 12 months, right? I mean, he doesn't say from now. He says, this is your get if I don't come back in 12 months. And he dies within those 12 months. And a get, it's not a good get. Right? Because he never said when the get is taking effect. He said it's gonna be a get after I don't come back. So the get, and then he died, so it's get la'achar misa, so it's no good. But if he says areza gitek me'achshav, but if he says the get is a good get from now, if I don't come from now for 12 months, and he dies within those 12 months, areza get, that is a good get, because he said the get's right now.
What is that taich? Imlo bosi.
If I didn't cut, you want to know a literal translation?
Yeah.
Right? It's in the past tense, right?
That's right.
So I think it's pshat because it's once it's after 30 days, you're gonna have to look back on it. I think.
Seems the blushing should be imlo voy if I don't come back.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. So anyways, and they die within, and he dies within a month, then it's a get, because he said me'achshav. If the guy says, if I don't come from now for 12 months, kasu tenu get lishti, he tells the Eidim, if I don't come back for 12 months, write a get to my wife. Cost will get beside Beis Chodesh, but they decided they're going to write the get within 12 months. And they'll give it after 12 months. Ain't a get. That is not a get. Right? Because he said, write the get after I don't come back after 12 months. They wrote it before. Kisvu. Tanu, get the Ishti says, write and give a get to my wife. Im loy basi mikan ad yud beis chodesh. I don't come from now for 12 months. Kasvu b'sayich yud beis chodesh. If they wrote it within 12 months, v'nosnu la'achar yud beis chodesh, and they gave it after 12 months, ain't a get. It's not a get. Right? So, and that's the same reason as before. Rabbi Yossi says, kazeh get. Rabbi Yossi says, no, this is a get. Right? Which you're going to see in the Gemara that has to do with the tonight. Right? Kasvu la'achar yud beis chodesh. He says to them, write it after 12 months, v'nosnu la'achar yud beis chodesh, and give it after 12 months. Umeis, and then he died. Ima get koydem lemisa. If they gave the get before he died, or is a get, so it's a good get. The misa kodma leget, but if he died before they gave the get, ain't a get. It's not a good get. V'mein you do a lot. V'im you do it. You don't know. They don't know when he died, so they don't know which came first, the get or the death. Zui shamru. That's what we said. Megureshes ve'ena megureshes. That's what we say. That's a suffix that she's divorced and she's not divorced. Okay, so again, a whole number of other different not strange time, but interesting tonight. Fine. So the Gemara says, again, the first case in the Mishnah was very simple. The guy says, if I don't come from now, no, he doesn't say from now, I'm sorry. He says, if I don't show up after 12 months, the get is a good get. The get is a get. So we say it's not a good get because he didn't say me'achshav. So, Tana Rabbi Senu Tiruli Nasi. The Rabbanon mattered it. The Rabbanon mattered her to get married. Right? Man Rabbi Senu. Who's Rabbi Senu? I'm Rabbi Yudah Shmuel. Beidina Desharu Mishcha. It's the Bezdin that mattered. We had this a few blot ago. The Bezdin that mattered the oil of Goyim, right? In the Gemara of the Zohar, we have Cholav Akum, Gvinas Akum, Bishal Akum. They also had Yayin Akum. It's not Yayin Akum. We got Yayin Akum too. They had Shemen Akum. Right, and then this Bezdin took it back and matted it. So Sabri look Rabbi Yossi, right? And they held like Rabbi Yossi to Omar's Manoi Shel Shtar Machiachalav, because he wrote a date in the shtar, which every shtar needs, which every get needs. So since he wrote a Zman in it, so that Zman will tell us that he meant it Me'ashav. So since the guy writes a Zman in a get, therefore it must be that he meant to get divorced now. As long as the Tanai happens, and he doesn't go back for 12 months. Called Siyasai. He said the psak, and all his Siyasai, all the people that were with him, didn't agree. Ba'amrila called Siyasai with a sin, right? Which I think really comes in the word shaitai, which is from his whole life, meaning nobody ever agreed with him on this psak. Meaning the Mishnah and all the other Tanaim said the get's not a good get because the guy didn't say it's a get from now. And he said it is. Because it had his man in it, and that's like Rabbi Yossi. So Rabbi Lazar, who Saba, Kishirisua, when Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya allowed this woman to get married, La Alta Shirisua, did he allow her to get married right away? Meaning again, we're talking about where the guy died before 12 months. Right? Again, he said that get is a get from now. If I don't show up for 30 days, if I don't show up for a year, I keep saying 30 days, it's a year, right? And he died in the middle. So Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya said the get's a good get, right? So when did he say the get's a good get? When we find out the guy died, which is what I think Naftali Larner wanted to say a couple of days ago, or do we have to wait for 12 months? Because the Tanai is 12 months. Now we know he's not showing up because he's dead, right? Do you have to wait for that 12 months anyways, because that's what he said, or we say, no, listen, he's not showing up, so be matir right away.
1 second, you're waiting the 12 months, and then it's Lamafreya from 12 months before he died?
Correct. Basically, the get, he gives the get today, and he says, this is a get from now if I don't show up for 12 months. 6 months from now, he dies. So the Mishnah says, well, I'm sorry, no, I said the case if he says, he didn't say that get is a good get today. I'm sorry. He said, this is going to be a get if I don't show up for 12 months. Right? So our Mishnah said it's not a good get. He never said when the get schal. Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya says that it is a good get because since he put a date in the get, so once you put a date in the get, so then that means the get is going to take place from when he wrote it. So he wrote it.
You don't
today,
have a choice. You have to put a date in.
Correct. That's a different kasha. Like, okay, but that's it's not a kasha. Meaning, yes, that means the assumption is that he put a date in there. So since he put a date in there, so then the get is going to be he. But the chiddush is that he holds that the date is like writing me'achshav. That's his chiddush, right? So again, he said, according to the review the Nasiya, the guy says today, writes today, or today is Yud Dalid Av. The guy, he says, if I don't show up by Yud Dalid Av of next year, then you're divorced. So the Mishnah holds there's no divorce. Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya holds it is a divorce, right? And now he died if he died, so he died in the middle. So he died 6 months from now. Do we still have to wait till next year, or not? Yeah.
One second. Now I'm confused.
All right. Okay, that's
if he
pretty
doesn't,
good.
no. If he doesn't say from Achshav, then it's a get Achamisa.
Correct, but not
So it's not a
according
good
to
get.
Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya. Not according to Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya.
So when do you have a case ever of get Achamisa according to Yehuda Nasiya? You would never have a case.
Like, yeah, a guy says, if I die, then let it be a get.
But he has a date, so it's from now.
No, a guy doesn't give the get. He just says, tells the Adam, if I die, take this get and write a get to my wife. I mean, it sounds like what's the chiddush, but that's would be a get la'achavisa.
What is he going to get? Okay.
What is he?
Right, but if a
for?
guy wrote a get,
It's only al yibum.
Oh.
Right? Sit on my lap? No.
I thought maybe that's the ksuba part, maybe
so
also.
according to Rabbi Yehuda, according to this,
No, the chayretz al yibum. The main mafkamin is yibum chalitza.
Uh-huh.
What?
So according to this shita, you really never have to say me'achshav.
According to this
That
sheet,
whole
you don't say Mashal. Correct, as long as it's dated. As long as it's dated. So now the Gemara is asking, good. So the guy died within the 12 months. Very nice. He ain't showing up unless he has a Tchias HaMesim. It doesn't seem like Tchias HaMesim was an option here, right? Why don't we say you have to wait? You have to wait till the end of the 12 months. Maybe it's gonna be Tchias HaMesim, right? I don't know.
Isn't there something we don't rely on miracles or something?
Yeah, that's true, but we
Okay.
don't know. But it could be Mashiach comes at any time. I don't know. Anyways, so the question is,
Don't we have a chazaka? Mashiach's not coming.
It sure seems like it.
I'm saying it's a chazaka that he's not coming within the next 12 months. I don't know.
No, I think we had something like that before. I think we had something
One
like
second.
that.
One second. If someone passes away, his wife can get remarried, right? She died. Why can't you say Tchias HaMesim?
She's dead now. What's the difference?
The first
What's the
Mishnah in
difference if the guy
Kedushin.
comes back?
The first
dead
Mishnah
now.
in Kedushin
That's what I'm
is
saying.
over.
She goes
That's what
from
I'm
the
saying.
Levaya to the Chuppah. The same way the Rebbes go from the Levaya, they go to the father's chair to become Rebbe.
Rav, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that you don't have to, once he's dead, you don't have to wait. If Jacob
Oh,
would say,
but
what about Tchias HaMesim? Why wait till 12 months?
No, but Naphtali, the guy didn't say if he dies, it's a get. Here he said, if I don't show up for 12 months. So 6 months later, he died. So the question is, do we have to still, according to those that hold it, the get's a good get, because the date works as me'achshav, right? So we know the
You don't have
guy's
to worry about Tchias HaMesim. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
we know she's going to be divorced. So do you still have to wait till after the 12 months in order for tonight to be fulfilled? Or can we say, no, it's going to be fulfilled?
If he said me'achshav, and he said, if I don't show up,
we're not talking about me'achshav.
One second. I understand.
It's the same. It's the same.
The same thing.
Me'achshav. The Gemara is going to ask that
Why?
right now. Why didn't he?
If he says me'achshav and then he dies in a 6 months.
Because he said it's me'achshav if he doesn't show up for 12 months.
Right. So then you have the same shaila. If he says me'achshav, I don't show up for 12 months.
Yes, the Gemara is going to ask that right now in a minute. Yes, the Gemara is going to ask that same thing.
And there's a sheet that it says that it's not a divorce.
From me'achshav, no.
Yeah. Right. The only thing is writing at his time on Mach is the same thing
correct.
as Machshav. That's
correct.
Okay.
Do you have to wait till after the 12 months or not? Anyway, so that's what he's saying. Let's see. Kisha Risu, when you're allowing this woman to get married, you're allowing it right away, right when you hear that he died. You have to wait 12 months. Right? Right? you're gonna be matir right away because he ain't coming, right? Because we know for sure he is going to die. I mean, we know for sure he's not showing up, right?
Naftali, you had something good to say, but you don't remember my.
What?
Which Misa?
With the one of the Lelev Rebbes in Eretz Yisrael.
Moshe, it's not our word.
On his father's yard site, he called his father up for an aliyah, and he stood by the beam and said, Amen. Okay.
I didn't forget this, Misa. I never knew this, Misa.
So there's a Kotske Anikel in Eretz Yisrael. They told him the stories. He says, Lozim Geben the Tata Hagba Bessa.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. So, okay. So I told you it's not our water bottle. Grab it away like as if it's a smartphone. My Anikel just showed it. What up? Just give me my phone. Okay. Anyways, I'm sorry. So that's a shayla. La'alta shirisuot the halayasi because he's not coming.
When did you become such a kanoi against the?
No, he stole a guy's water. I'm on the porch outside the guy's dorm. He ripped off a guy's water bottle.
No, but he's talking about the line. Make believe it's a smartphone.
He knows what I was talking about.
That one, yeah.
All right, give him a break. Come on, give him a break.
I'm not screaming at my anicle. I'm screaming at my kid.
No, I'm talking about the smartphones, Yaakov.
Anicle, you don't, yeah, because he's holding my smartphone. That's why he's playing a game on it. My kids have the most occupied camp. If they're not happy with what's going on in camp, they come and they play on the iPads. You know what I mean? They have the best of all the world.
Got to be some advantage to having you there.
I guess so. Yeah. Anyways. So meaning he's not showing up. Because you need to be Mekayim the tonight. So Gemara says, like Naftali was saying, why are you asking it on there? Ask it on the Mishnah. If he says he came from now, he says the get is from now if I don't come for 12 months. Get la'alter havi, right? Is it lahalter havi? Is it immediately to halayasi? Meaning he's asking him, so why are you asking it on the Rabbi Yehuda Nasiya? Ask it on our Mishnah on the case of Mayachshav. Right? So he says, Enochanami, you're right, it's the same Shaila. I was there at that Maisa. Right? I was there at that Maisa. So since I was there at that Maisa, so I asked it then and there. But really, yeah, the same Shaila. It's the same Shaila on the Mishnah and in the Brisa, which the Gemara doesn't seem to answer the Shaila. Right? The Gemara doesn't answer the Shaila. Okay, well we'll stop over here. Yeah. All right. Oh, Yoni, don't go off. Okay. Have a good night, everybody.
Right.
Oh, wow. That's real.
Next
How are
visitation.
I get a knock.
There you
What's
go.
going on?
There you go.
Did you listen? You listen to the share a little bit?
Well, his father
he just
did
showed up.
He's my nephew. He's a Kohen.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
a Kohen. You're a
Yeah, he's
Kohen.
a Kohen.
So we have to
whole
treat him
different
nicely.
story over here.
He belongs on the
Yeah.
daf.